Okay, I'm gonna stand on this little plank for just a second. Here, look at this. Babe. Now, what we got is about what we have right there is water, and I'm on a gravel bike this time, so hopefully there won't be a lot of slippage. But over here in the direct path, you got about 4 inches of water. Okay. So now, on these days where you have obstacles, it's raining, you have gusting winds, these are the days where people say to themselves, hey, you know what? I'm just going to stay in the house. And this is why you ride closed course, especially if you're over 40 years old. You ride a closed course, you ride in the same place, and then you know where the emergency services are. People know you. So if you have a problem, they can scrape you off of this roadway and get you to a hospital because you're riding closed course. You go out there, see these youngsters over here? See, there's some youngsters over there, over at the OXO, and they're both riding tandem on one little bike. See, right there. Now, their bones are still flexible. They don't have a high amount of brutality in their bones. So they can break bones, they can fall, their bodies are still flexible. But old guys like me, your body is not flexible anymore. And so you cannot absorb a lot of falls. So they can, here they are, look. See how they're riding? They can ride out there in traffic. I can't. They can ride trails. They can have adventure rides. They can get in, their century and all of that sort of thing. Pardon me. See the teeth. They can race. They can do all of those sorts of things. But pretty much, and I know this sounds extreme, but over 35, you just can't do that. That's what you cannot do because you're old, you're brittle, you're frail. Your immune system is on deep decline after about 35. And I know what you're saying, I'm young and my dad, he's 90 and he's still alive and kicking and blah, blah, blah and blah, blah, blah. But what you're not thinking of is would your 90-year-old dad had have defeated his 18-year-old self at anything? See, it's unfair to compare me with another person. What is fair is to compare me with me. So today is my birthday. So I go back in time and I say, can I defeat my 20-year-old self? No. Can I outwit my 20-year-old self? Yes. But can I defeat my 20-year-old self in a physical confrontation where it's just purely the physical? Doesn't take guile, doesn't take wisdom, doesn't take strategy. It's just purely the physical. No. Okay, so that's what you have to consider. And so when you got these bad days, here. So when you got these bad days and you say, hey, I'm not gonna go out there on this bad day. I'm not gonna go out on this bad day. When you say that to yourself, you're not realizing, let's say that you have one bad day per month. That's 12 days out of the year that you didn't do anything. Let's say that you have 2 bad days per month. That's 24 days out of the month that you didn't do anything. And now we're entering into the season, rain, cold, wind, where for the next 4 or 5 months, every day can be considered a bad day. Okay? So are you just going to do nothing for the whole 4 months? It's like you live up in the snow belt and you don't buy a pair of cross-country skis. You don't have a pair of cross-country skis. You don't have a pair of snowshoes. And then you say to yourself, without cross-country skis, without snowshoes, you say, well, I have cabin fever. I can't get out there in 30 below and run or bike or whatever. Yeah, you can go out there in 30 below if you have cross-country skis, if you have snowshoes. With cross-country skis and snowshoes, that takes the climate out of the consideration. Well, here in Mexico, now it's coming into the rainy season. So it's Sunday, and normally you see everyone out here. Look, nobody out here but me and the dogs. Okay, so that means that somebody is skipping their workout, and right now it's about 88 degrees. Okay, you're gonna, in this part of Mexico, for 5 months, you're gonna have 110 degree days. This is one of the hottest places on earth. So when it's too hot, you say, well, I'm not gonna work out. When it's too rainy, you say, well, I'm not gonna work out. When it's too cold, you say, well, I'm not gonna work out. That's why in this particular region, you have the most obese people in Mexico and in the United States. Because people say, hey, I'm not going out there. The climate is too bad. On both sides of the border, they say that. Both sides of the border. So Mexicans have a lot more participation than Americans. They don't completely throw in the towel, but if the weather isn't to their liking, they too have a tendency to throw in the towel. Don't do that. Good days, go out there. Bad days, go out there. The more days you have in a row, the better it is for your metabolism. All of this stuff where people are telling you to run in this particular time, to ride a bike in this particular time, to do this like this, to do this like that, and do it like that, and do this many sets, all of that is good. But the key thing is absolute consistency. 365 days of all doing something. Number one, that's a perfect trigger. If on a day in 365 days you can do nothing, you know that you are gravely ill. You put in 2 or 3 of those days in a row, you know that the end is near. See? So it's a perfect trigger.